Hey, Brandon here. Welcome back to the Up on the D-Pad podcast. Here with Dig.
What's going on?
Yep. Alright, so first things first, before we get into anything else, what have you been playing recently?
I've actually been all over the place. I'm currently doing benchmarks on the secondary PC I have.
Okay. Alright. Any games you've been using to benchmark? Anything you caught your eye?
It's mainly been Assassin's Creed Unity.
Okay.
No, not Unity. Origins. That's what I meant.
Okay, gotcha. The
Forza Horizon 3.
Okay.
What was the other one? I used Tomb Raider. Well, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Gotcha.
And Ghost Recon Wildlands so far. But
okay.
I'm gonna throw in Watch Dogs 2 and probably some other games like the Division and.
I want to play Watch Dogs 2. It's weird. I want to play it, but I don't want to buy it because I feel like it's not good. But recently I've been playing Dragon's Crown Pro. Great. I guess if you're a big fan of Gauntlet, this is a great. It's a beat 'em up. A very fantasy beat 'em up. They have 6 characters and everything. It's actually pretty good. Hopefully one day we'll do a online stream with everybody from the Up on the D-Pad crew and everything, and get a nice hype stream for that. Yeah, and that's pretty much that. Dragon's Crown Pro, Overwatch, pretty much been running my life. I've yet to get. What I want to get is. I'm going to Battle Chasers. Battle Chasers for the Switch, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Only problem I see with the Switch version is that there are like long loading times like everywhere. Like loading into an area and like loading into every other battle.
Okay.
And it's not short either.
Yeah, it's kind of grating and stuff. Okay, gotcha. So you're coming to those quite frequent. Yeah, it's between that and I still have to pick up Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I've been actually meaning to pick that up. Did you pick it up yet?
Yeah, I actually I've been playing that as well while I'm at work.
60 frames per second.
Not exactly.
Okay, 50.
I'll say it's better than the Wii version.
Okay, all right. So anywhere from 30 to 60, or 30 to sub 60. Okay. So first of all, it seems that we've had a lot of bad news this week in the games industry. So the first thing I wanted to touch on was the GameStop CEO has abruptly resigned for personal reasons.
Personal reasons.
Yes. Now, I'm not a fan of the Circle of Life policy that GameStop has, and I'm not exactly sure what other things GameStop or EB Games, if you're not in the United States, is doing out there. But some speculate that it could be personal reasons. Do you have any idea what it could quite possibly be, besides? Out of GameStop's great to wonderful gaming practices?
Other than life, I have no idea.
All right.
To be honest, I haven't really been keeping up with GameStop at all.
I don't think anybody really has.
I barely even shop there anymore.
I don't. No, they're probably hoping that they'll get gamers back to sell them games, to fill them with a sense of pride and accomplishment, as the popular term is. All right, so Boss Keys Productions, that is Lawbreakers, Cliffy B. You probably know him from great, wonderful games such as Gears of War. He used to work with Epic Games. So Boss Keys Production is no more, which means sorry, Lawbreakers.
He said he would kind of lay low for a bit and kind of rethink his decision on like how to come back in the gaming. He said he wants to come back in the games, but I agree that he actually needs to kind of sit it out for a bit and kind of, sit and think on his actions.
Yeah.
As of late.
So speaking of that, let me dive right into the good question. What could Lawbreakers have done to be successful?
Not been Lawbreakers.
Okay, true. They could have not been Lawbreakers. But so Lawbreakers is a how do I put this? It's Infinite Warfare. All right, I'm not even. It's Infinite Warfare with powers. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. Infinite Warfare. Not Infinite Warfare. Lawbreakers came out at a time during of which Overwatch, Paladins.
The genre was pretty much oversaturated.
Yeah, and so he was like, "Hey, I can make a mark in the industry." But Cliffy B did the Cliffy B thing and said, "Hey, only cool people will play my game." Like, he was talking down to all the other people that play the games and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty bad. And I'm glad you said oversaturated, because we're going to be coming back to that later in this podcast. But I just feel as if Cliffy B kind of set himself. Cliffy B has been known for the dare I say the bad ass of the game industry. He's the bad boy, he's the cool guy and stuff like that. He's, I guess, was attempting to, or his persona was like, I'm making gaming cool, and if you're not playing my games, you're not cool. It isn't really how you get customers, I heard.
Over the course of his years, like, in the industry, he's pretty much shat on everybody.
Yes.
The point when he was with Xbox, he shat on the PC community, and he kind of came out and apologized, quote unquote, for that. Mm-hmm. And then proceeded to shit on Xbox players and, well, the Xbox in general, actually. But that aspect hurt him. Yeah. But I don't think it hurt it as much as the game not being interesting.
Yeah.
I heard it was okay, but
yeah, I feel like if it came out before Overwatch, it probably would have been okay. It probably would have sold something. Okay. But like, it's really hard to come out with a hero shooter or online shooter or power shooter, whatever you want to call it, when you're entering in the same scope as like games like Overwatch, and even then at the time Destiny. Like, like you're gonna say, I have a game that has powers, you can run around and do cool things. Also, why not play Destiny? Why not play Overwatch? Paladins, The Division, anything. Go back and play and load up Unreal Tournament. Why not play any of those games versus Lawbreakers? So,
I would say that the arena shooter genre isn't as popular as it used to be.
Yeah,
not even close.
Well, I feel
I think it'll be kind of hard to tackle that in any way, because I know Quake Champions, is a thing right now, and you barely see that anywhere. But it could chalk that up for it not being as great as arena shooter fans want it to be. Say?
Yeah, probably. It's probably got the rose tinted glasses. I know I had that for a good while. Like, you play a game, you're like, yeah, I remember this game fondly. Then you go back and play the game, and you're like, this game isn't really as good as I once thought it was. Yeah, I mean, that happens.
But I think Lawbreakers could have survived. Living.
If he kept his mouth shut.
Not. Well, that could be part of it, but I mean, what is that? Paladins is still a thing right now, right?
Yeah, Paladins is still a thing, but so Paladins, they took,
and that's even closer to Overwatch than.
Oh, for sure. No, it is way closer to Overwatch, but I think the thing that came out with So the thing that Paladins does, Paladins, it's close to Overwatch, but
Isn't it free?
yeah, it's free. That's one of the big draws. You could jump into it for free, and then you can buy loot boxes to support it and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of things. It's weird because there's a lot of things that Overwatch and Paladins have in common, and people often compare the two. And it's funny that you'll never hear like Lawbreakers in this conversation. Period. You know, I just feel like Cliffy B came out with a very bland shooter with very bland characters and a very bland art style, and said, "I want you to play my very bland game, but I'm gonna dress it up and call it a massive success and work of art," which is kind of hard to sell.
I mean, it's good to be confident in your product.
True.
It's good to be confident, but I was gonna say I was gonna chalk it up to bad luck at first, but then after Lawbreakers failed, they went ahead and decided to tackle the battle royale crowd with the Reticle Heights, and release it clearly in its alpha stage just to make a few bucks off of it, and there were microtransactions on top of that.
Okay, so mind you, before I speak anything about the battle royale, I'm gonna hold it because we're gonna speak about that a little bit later. So next up in our Best Buy removing the Gamers Club program, or making it so that new they would no longer have new people inside of the Gamers Club program, paid or free.
I never used it, so well, wait, give me the what's the details on that?
So apparently, from what I heard about the Gamers Club program, I may need to Google this, but it was a great thing for like gamers itself, because you could pretty much, it's like Blockbuster for games, you would say. Like, you would get like games, you could get games for like a discounted price. I guess, actually no, the better way to put it would be like, it's a Nintendo club for games.
Okay.
And so like they would give you games, you can get games for cheap. Actually, let me go. Best Buy card, you would get points like GameStop. You would get free shipping on purchases up to $35.
Oh, you know what?
Across the board. Yep.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually looking into joining that, like, as a kind of what I want to say, supplemental to the GameStop thing, since I wasn't going there anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, GameStop My Rewards, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what the thing was. They were competing with GameStop, and they gave you like points, but the points that they gave you were actually so 250 points to give you a $5 reward certificate, which on paper is really good, actually. So like if you had a Best Buy credit card, you would get 2.5 points per every $1 spent.
But who's buying that?
Well, I mean, okay, so when you look at this, the deal that you get from it is actually pretty sweet. And you're pretty much getting, like, let me quickly add this up using some quick mental math. So for every, I'm going to assume this looks like real quick, $100. So for every $100, they pretty much give you a $5 reward certificate, which is great.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like, if you buy a lot of games, then like you can rack up in $5 certificates relatively fast. So like every $600 is pretty much a free game, which is really good. And then let's see here. Yeah, you get free shipping and free delivery. No minimum purchase required. Free 2-day shipping. No minimum purchase required. On the Elite package. I'll just speak on the Elite package, not the Elite Plus. The return and exchanges is up to 30 days, which is really good. Access to special sales and offers. Yes, Elite access. Point banking option. I don't know what that is. a 24/7 customer service line dedicated to Elite. And in order to qualify, all you have to do is make $1,500 in purchases during a calendar year. So yeah, like looking at that, that's actually really good. Yeah, and I just heard that it was practically a steal for like the people that did sign up and join up and stuff. It's just that, I guess in my head when I think about going to go buy games, Best Buy isn't on my list of places to go buy games at. So
I think I've kind of been using Amazon and stuff like that as of late anyway.
Yeah,
so.
No, it makes a lot of sense to use those programs, and even like Amazon, because they give you your game like a day early, straight to your door, already there,
Not for me.
Oh.
It's always the day of, late in the day.
I'm sorry. Okay, so
unless I'm missing something.
Probably. Well, talk to Anime, because she gets her games like apparently the day of or like the day before or something like that. It's crazy. Okay, so the last one in our terrible gaming news, Sony is ending production of physical Vita games, which means that from here on out there will be nothing but digital games. I am under the personal belief that this is the that we are nearing the close, and this is the nail in the coffin to the Vita. If Sony hasn't said to us people the Vita's dead, I think this was the wake-up call.
The nail in the coffin was them not even mentioning the Vita at any kind of conference anymore.
Yeah, but there have been a lot of people that were like, the PS Vita's still alive, and I still have great games for my Vita. And I'm like, I mean, I would also want a second screen for my PS4, but just not a Vita priced one. And now they're ending the production of physical Vita games. And I think that, to me, like, I see the writing on the wall, like, after they, like, try to port over all of these other, which is funny, they took the Nintendo strategy for bringing over Switch games. And Nintendo was like, hey, we're going to bring over all these Switch games from the Wii U. Only these games are going to be actual games and not like gimmicks. They brought
no, you can't say they tried to adopt the Switch strategy, because that was way before then. But I was going to say exactly that.
Well, the strategy was similar.
Nintendo actually succeeded where Sony failed with that.
Yeah, well, it was primarily because they brought out a bunch of gimmick games. And I have to add a sigh in there, because Nintendo just came out with, I think it was during the time, Nintendo came out with the Wii and the Wiimote, and they came out with the PlayStation Move, and shortly after, I think if I'm correct, during the life cycle of, you got the Vita also. But they brought out Uncharted and brought out a Uncharted with touchscreen controls. I forgot what the name of it was. Untold Legacy or something like that. I'm gonna end up having to correct myself. I know it, but they came out with the Uncharted game. They came out with there was another game. I think it was Media Molecule, and it was also a touchscreen game, or not even touchscreen game. A game that uses touchscreen controls, and then it was on top of that. They just didn't market the Vita. They just didn't push as much first party support as they should have. Huh?
It's I don't think it's that they didn't market the Vita, because they did. It's that the games they were pushing for it, well, they weren't I guess in line with the handheld, should be.
Yeah. Yeah, that
because they pushed it as a companion to the PS3 at first, which they didn't follow through with, because that was supposed to have like the whole second screen, second controller support for the PS3, but that didn't happen until sometime into the PS4, and that barely even happened.
And they also
Almost like
came
a
out
game.
with those terrible PlayStation branded memory
Oh,
sticks.
memory cards? Yeah,
Yeah, the
that,
memory sticks.
that's a big part of its failure.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
Proprietary
y'all pretty-
memory is proprietary overpriced memory
Oh yeah, yes, there you go.
is a killer.
Yes, like proprietary memory isn't that bad. Proprietary overpriced memory is like, I don't know, you know. So yeah, yeah. Sad to say, to anybody out there that owns a Vita, I apologize. The Vita's dead.
It had a lot of potential.
It has so much potential.
It
I actually was looking forward to getting a Vita because I was like, I can play my PS4 game. I can play my PS3 games on the go. I can play my PS4 games on the go. This is great. This is a great idea. But they just regulated the Vita to a companion to the PS4. And why do that when you could download the app on your computer and it's the companion to your PS4 instead? It's crazy. Okay, so Capcom is doing. Capcom is bringing Resident Evil 7 to the Switch, and I
Cloud
say
version.
that. Yes, and I say that in the loosest term possible because it's not really bringing Resident Evil 7 to the Switch. It is a cloud service. All right, so. This only goes one of two ways. We're either entering into a great time to own games or the apocalypse. So, they're going to do Resident Evil 7, and it's going to be a cloud service, which pretty much is you will not own the game. You will own the game, and own is air quotations around it, but it will be
Isn't it like $6 or $7 a month or something like that?
Yeah, something. And they are... It's just looking at what Capcom is trying to do. I get what they're trying to do with the cloud service and Resident Evil 7 because they see probably like so much success with PlayStation Now. But it kind of reminds me of On Live. That's one. And then two, Capcom's track record hasn't been really good as of late. And I don't feel like their brand is strong enough to support a cloud service.
Actually, I just checked the price. It's 2,000 yen, which equates to $18
Yeah.
for 180 days rental. So, but my thoughts, it's an in between thing. It's like a gray area. It's a good and it's a bad thing. Right?
Yeah, it's either this is the golden age of gaming or this is the apocalypse.
It ain't that great.
Well, I mean, like if they start doing it, my worst fear is that other companies will start doing it and thinking they can get away with it. That's the problem.
I think the good thing to come out of this is that maybe the Switch's hardware isn't able to support said game, right?
Right.
To run, at acceptable performance. You can
Agreed.
stream the game over the, over the internet, right?
Yes.
You'll still be able to play it on your Switch.
Yes.
The bad thing about that is you're not home.
Yep.
You're not home. You're out on the go at work or something like that. Can't even
Would you say this?
What was the point?
Yeah, I say, would you say this defeats the purpose of owning a Switch?
Yeah, for Resident Evil 7 specifically, yes.
See? Okay, so I'm so glad because we get to talk back about Battle Royale because man, I am so upset. Alright, Black Ops ditches the campaign in response to what Treyarch says in response to Black Ops 3. That people really didn't play the campaign. And also the new Battle Royale mode is called Blackout. So before I start touching on the sub points, true. Call of Duty games, and I think most of the modern shooter games, campaigns really haven't been good for a while. And that's because when they first started off, they were really fresh. You picked up a gun, you could shoot people. I honestly think one of the most refreshing campaigns I've ever played might have been Battlefield 4. And just looking at what they've done with the campaign since then, like outside of, I think that was Black Ops 2 and their shock value mission in Russia, or is that, no, Modern Warfare 2, sorry. Outside of that and their mission in Russia, that was really it. They really didn't have too much going on inside of their campaigns. And so they proposed to ditch the campaigns because, once again, nobody's really playing them. And if they aren't, that's understandable. But then you found time to bring in a Battle Royale game mode. So I just want to speak about oversaturation really quick. See, the thing that killed Lawbreakers, which we talked about earlier, was oversaturation. You're stepping into a market with the likes of like Overwatch and even though it's not as well known, like Paladins, you even have Paragon. You have all of these games, even Warframe, all these games here that are in your space, and you're going to try to release a game amongst these giants. And not saying that Fortnite, PUBG can't be toppled, because they can, but I feel like even Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption, they're coming out with a battle royale mode. Treyarch is coming out with a battle royale mode called Blackout. I feel like eventually we're about to reach two of these games are going to get knocked off for sure. I'm going to assume that probably PUBG is going to be the next to get knocked off for like Fortnite, and maybe like Red Dead Redemption 2 or I was about to say Treyarch, or Black Ops 4. And I feel as if they should I feel as if for people that are thinking about releasing a battle royale game after these two, you should look and tread very carefully. That's all I can really say about that before I touch on the subpoints.
Okay. As far as the single player goes, my personal opinion, I'm not gonna say glad, but I think it was a reasonable decision to get rid of it, because you buy Call of Duty for the multiplayer. I mean, I know there are those out there that play the campaign and all, and they like it, they enjoy it, to each their own. But I feel they spent too much on the campaign, which is kind of their fault, because they like to hire high profile actors to star in these campaigns when they don't really need it. What I wanted to say, but I think it's a good experiment, but I'll say their reasoning for getting rid of the campaign, saying because barely anybody completed the Black Ops 3 campaign, that's their fault, because from what I saw and what I heard, that campaign was pretty garbage compared to any other Call of Duty game. So,
I mean, as far as the dead horse, so.
But as far as the whole battle royale thing, people joining in that, I don't think that it'll affect Call of Duty at this point, because Call of Duty is already a well-established franchise.
Yeah,
everybody's gonna buy the game anyway. They're gonna try it out. They're gonna play it. They're probably gonna enjoy it, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So I think this is kind of excluded from the other battle royale games.
Well, I think
because they have all of their other modes to support the game as well, if nobody likes the battle royale thing.
Yeah, I just think that, well, I was saying that I'm not saying like Red Dead Redemption or Black Ops are gonna like flop on their battle royale modes. I'm saying that we're starting to hit the saturation point. So as of let's say by the end of this year, we should have 4 battle royale games. I guess 5 if you wanna, if some people lump CS:GO into that too, but wait,
CS:GO has a battle royale game?
I don't think so, but people often
group. No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
completely separate.
Okay, good. Thank you. Praise. Oh, okay. So there's gonna be PUBG. There's gonna be Fortnite. There's gonna be Black Ops, and there's gonna be Red Dead Redemption. I think we're getting to the point where things are gonna get oversaturated, and I feel as if not saying that the genre as a whole cannot expand, but I feel as if anybody right now is like, hey, I want to work on a battle royale game, you might want to tread carefully. Because I feel like the next games that come after, like Red Dead Redemption and Black Ops 4, if you're gonna be a battle royale game in the market, you're gonna have to like blow the walls off of some stuff. Like you gotta be like amazing. You know, like I feel as if I'm sorry, go on.
I also don't think too many people are gonna try the battle royale thing anymore.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I mean, I'm sorry, and I could also lump in like Reticle Heights and stuff, but
no, you can't. That's dead already.
Well, there goes
that was dead on arrival.
Did it. So, yeah, but what I will say is really quick to touch on the sub points. They're changing things about Black Ops 4 that actually, upon looking at it and reading it, I was like, okay, I might try it. I'm not buying it, but I'll at least try it because I'm definitely down to support. But you'll now have your enemies and their sight lines now visible on the minimap.
Get rid of the minimap completely.
I agree with that, but casuals.
Bring it back to the old days.
But the casuals, man, the casuals know where they are. So
why sightlines though?
I don't know why the sightlines. The sightlines blew my mind. I was like, why sightlines? Like, you really want people to know what direction they're looking? And how accurate is that going to be over the internet? So the and they're getting rid of regenerative health. Now they're gonna have stim packs. Now you can like go behind cover and use a stim pack. Hopefully it's like on a cooldown or something, not like a constant thing that you can just do after every battle or something like that. But the way that they're making it seem like is that the stim pack is gonna take time to be used, and during that time your opponent can either decide to use their own stim pack or rush you down and kill you for using your stim pack. Kind of adds a little level of strategy to it. I was actually kind of okay with that. Mm-hmm. And they're also including a play of the game mechanic. I don't know how I feel about it.
Me neither.
I think they've been spending too much time at Blizzard to just, and the play of the game mechanic is really good. I don't know if it's needed for Black Ops. Just if you're playing with what is it? I think the original was AV8. Playing with AV8, you gotta come up with a play of the game out of that, which you're gonna say this one player out of 16 was really good at this one moment, and I don't know if it fits. In my soul, I don't feel like it fits. You know, maybe I'll change my tune when I see it, but yeah.
I don't have any words for it because I don't know how to feel about it.
So Zone of the Enders, Second Runner, VR. Zone of the Enders, Second Runner, Mars VR is
VR support.
VR support. Thank you. Is dropping on September 4th.
I might pick it up because I haven't played. I haven't played Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, I'm trying
I
to
heard it was
decide if
good.
I want to support Konami. It's a hard one.
Yeah, it is Konami too.
See what I'm talking about? I'm like, man, I could just buy a game used. That way Konami doesn't get any of the money. Oh, man. I'm really not happy with Konami. Okay. Rage 2 was announced. So id Software is dropping Rage 2. So first thing I'll ask is, what do you feel it can improve over the first?
It already showed me what it can improve over the first gameplay. Because I bought the first game. I couldn't really get into it. Gameplay was a little bit slow, and I think the first game was more about showing off tech than it was actually, making a good game, right?
Gotcha.
But from that trailer that they showed, they seem that they've implemented the same kind of shooting formula, at least close, as the same as Doom and Wolfenstein, which is a really great formula.
Yeah.
For id right now. Hey, it's not even id though. It's for Bethesda as a whole anyway.
Yeah.
But
no, agreed. Yeah. So I'll say this. I feel as if I saw it as open world. That's great. Upon looking at the trailer, now I remember the original Rage was a lot more gritty, a lot more, dare I say, Duke Nukem-ish, Doom-ish, where it was like more so confined to corridors. This one seems, how do I put this? Like a gritty Borderlands. That's what the feel I got from looking at the trailer.
I think the difference is, I can't say if this game is going to be good, but I thought Borderlands 2 was trash.
Borderlands 2 is trash?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Borderlands, the whole entire series is trash.
My soul. My feelings. Okay. So that's understood. That's understandable. So yeah, that's really the only feel that I got from it. Just from.
So I haven't hurt anybody's feelings.
It's okay.
I'm not sorry, actually.
It's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. I'm a man. I got this. Hold on. Let me get the tears. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, it looks good. But, I know how gameplay trailers go. They show you all the good parts. You play the game. It's actually the complete opposite. So, but yeah, going upon it, looking at the trailer first, the trailer looks amazing. Let's see here. So, Crash Bandicoot has been out on other consoles for a while, and now it is being released early on the Switch on June 29th, up from its July release date.
I will be buying this on PC.
Okay.
60 frames.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. I'll be buying this a second time.
All right. That's understandable. Gotcha. All right. All right. I'll actually defer to your expertise for this one. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is coming to the Nintendo Switch. So just a little recap for people that don't know. If you got into Monster Hunter World, that actually was my first Monster Hunter that I legit played and took seriously and everything. This one is the one before it. It is, from what I saw, a very flashy Monster Hunter, which always attracts me. I am in love with Kingdom Hearts gameplay. I'll be honest and throw my bias out there. So this right here looks very action oriented, and I love action oriented stuff. Even if I am gonna get slapped around, as long as I can look flashy while getting slapped around, I am A-okay with that. But because it came before Monster Hunter Worlds, it's gonna be missing some of the systems that made Monster Hunter World great, which I'm going to assume is like in the pacing and everything.
Pretty much the quest pacing is mainly when you start off in like the older Monster Hunters generations. Well, yeah, generations included. There's a few fetch quests, gathering quests you do before you actually get into, the actual monster hunting, right?
Okay.
And unlike Monster Hunter Worlds, where the gathering quests are kind of optional to progress, some of these you need to complete to get to the next, the next set of quests.
Yeah.
But I would say there's a thing that I like about the older Monster Hunters that I didn't get with Generations, which kind of had me, not Generations, with Worlds.
Okay.
That kind of had me drop Worlds earlier than I expected, right?
Okay.
One is with the timed event quests, which in the older Monster Hunter games, once an event quest released, it was there forever.
Gotcha.
You already had it. It's there forever.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
And with Generations Ultimate, you also get more monsters, which is a double-edged sword. Because there are more monsters to hunt, but there are also more monsters that are kind of be, left on the back burner and probably be a little bit harder to find, somebody to play online with because they're hunting other monsters, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I was, after looking at it, I'm actually interested in it and actually thinking about getting it. I played Monster Hunter Worlds. I think the last HR I played at was 70 something. I want to say like 72. But it's actually, I know, like really low, but I was playing it and I was okay with like going out and hunting by myself, but I am I love co-op games. I love playing games like with my friends, and a lot of times my friends aren't on to play games, or like if I'll say, hey, let's play Monster Hunter Worlds, then a lot of them will say, oh yeah, I'm busy or something like that. And when I'm often doing hunts by myself, I mean, like, it's cool, I can enjoy it, but I would enjoy it more. Let's say, like, I think the pinnacle of, like, my co-op experience lies in, like, I really liked games like Resident Evil 6 co-op. Outside the fact that it was a terrible Resident Evil game, I like the fact that it was a great co-op game. I had fun playing mercenaries in that game. I eventually got into Battlefield 4 Battlefield 3 when it came out for free on PS Plus, and then ended up getting Battlefield 4, and actually enjoyed Battlefield 4. We would have squads and we would run objectives, and it was actually made for some really cool memories. I ended up playing Dragon's Crown on PS3, and that's when I gained my love for like beat 'em ups with my friends and stuff like that, and even Destinies with their raids. And that's really the big thing I like about Destiny is the raids. Somebody please make something for raids so I can get some friends and play. But Monster Hunter, I played Monster Hunter Worlds, and I enjoyed the game. It just, I don't know, like I felt like at that point I had kind of reached, I don't want to say like I reached a primary dominant strategy, but every fight at that point kind of was like, hey, rinse, repeat, do this thing here, after that win. And I think without the friends to help, it kind of was like, not really. So when I saw that they had styles in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, I was like, hold on a second. I could change up the style of play on the one weapon that I'll probably use. This is great.
Alright, one thing I gotta say about the styles is when I played the original Generations on 3DS, I wasn't a fan of the styles. Still not, actually. Maybe the new included styles it kind of drove me back, but I'm more inclined to more of the classic style of play.
Gotcha. Okay.
But another thing to add is that there's more of a reason to continue playing in the older Monster Hunter games because the guild hall. I don't know if you remember that from Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It works a bit differently in the other ones. You have your story quests, and you have your guild quests, which are kind of separated for multiplayer.
Okay.
So in Worlds, all of that was kind of put together. So there's like, okay, you go through these quests and you're pretty much done. The only thing you got to do is pretty much optimize your builds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now in Generations and the previous games, you tackle the guild hall quests, and they're actually a bit harder.
Oh.
Than the other quests because they're scaled for 4 players.
Okay.
And there's a thing called G rank, where it's like it's pretty much like hard mode, right?
Okay. All right.
And and you actually get different sets of gear from those, to where it's more of a kind of like Monster Hunter Worlds. You kind of get to mix and match your armor sets to kind of get the build that you want.
Yeah.
But I think it was done better in the previous games.
Okay.
Give you more of a reason to play online. Well, more of a reason to continue playing online.
Yeah. Because that's all I really need. Like I'm really attracted to like raid mechanics and stuff like that, and like even the raid that they did have is, I guess, it's like. When I think of a raid, I'm like, there's like mechanics, things you put together. It was like a 16-person event, but it was more so like something where like there's a monster. They kind of had it in Xenoblade Chronicles X, where like which was a RPG on the Wii U, where they had a boss. A super world boss that you would pretty much enter and fight, and what you can do is just whittle down his HP and break parts on him to make things, and then somebody else will go and do the same until you beat him. And that's more so what that felt like, instead of like a actual raid. Yeah, but okay, so Microsoft is rumored to release a new Xbox controller for accessibility. How do you feel about said controller?
I gotta give him props on it.
Okay.
Because there's maybe, aside from like third-party companies, that are actually like developing controllers for the disabled.
Yeah.
And going all the way back, Sony has never done anything. I don't think Sony has ever done anything like this. So I give Microsoft props for this. Okay.
So with that being said, do you feel as if they are so they made this controller, which means that they had like R&D teams and people looking at this to solve this problem. With the fact that they don't have games, do you feel as if Microsoft's goals or things they're trying to accomplish is everywhere except for the root of their problem?
In this specific case, no.
Okay.
Those R&D teams are completely separate from the gaming division.
Okay.
So that has nothing to do with the games. Now, as far as the games go in that department, I really think they need to refocus. And I think I want to say they've kind of given up on the whole games thing until next generation.
Yeah, that's what I.
So where hopefully, because it's so late in the generation now that it doesn't even matter at this point.
True.
Well, it does matter, but
yeah, but I mean, like, even if they came with games in one, like it wouldn't mean anything in the face of the next generation, where you're going to go in, they're going to say, well, we made some games, and people are only going to remember the first half of that generation where they had a system with no games.
Right.
Makes sense.
So I think they're pretty much prepping for the next generation.
Okay. All right. Anthem. So the live services for Anthem are to be released post-launch. What are your thoughts?
I don't have any particular feelings on it because I don't know how the live services are going to be. Now, considering this is EA, it could go south.
Yes, agreed.
But given their situation as of late, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they may have learned at least part of a lesson.
Hopefully. Yeah, I was just thinking when they said that, I was like, yeah, I can't buy any games from you guys until I know what the live service. I'm already on the fence about Anthem, but it kind of screams like, hey, you'll know how we're going to be supporting the game after the game launches, aka after we see what the sales numbers are like for the game. And that doesn't scream to me go buy this game, because something that I actually didn't mention on here, but recently it has been noted that EA might be pulling support for Battlefront 2 after all the promises that they had for that. And then there was also the Andromeda fiasco, where there was supposed to be more DLC for Andromeda that also didn't get dropped. I don't think anybody was mad at Andromeda because Andromeda was a mess. But for people that bought and stuck around with Battlefront 2, yeah. And now they're like, hey, we'll tell you what you guys will be getting after Anthem drops. I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna buy this until you tell me something.
They can mean one or two things. I mean, if they, sit up there and explain their whole live services and how it would be included when the game releases, right? That could probably tick people off the wrong way. But if they're confident, well, I want to say confident enough, but if they say they're going to release it afterwards and see how the game does, they have at least some kind of confidence in the game, like maybe holding on its own.
Okay.
I want to say.
All right.
It depends on how. It depends. It depends on how the game would be.
Yeah,
I don't have high hopes for it. I'm kind of interested in it because mechs, and I haven't played an Armored Core game in God knows how long. I kind of want that.
I understand your feelings. I get you. Yeah, no, they I wonder who Armored Core is owned by, actually.
If FromSoft is listening.
Oh, they own Armored Core?
Yes.
Yes, actually. Really? So if they can do that and Tenchu, that would be great. Okay, so Azure Striker Gunvolt, I guess Rival, is getting his own title in Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X. So
I have not played any of the Azure Striker.
They're actually really good.
I've passed it up a few times, like looking at it. I was like, I might buy this. I was like, nah, not yet. I got other games to finish.
If you enjoyed a jump and shoot game, Azure Striker Gunvolt is actually really good and really challenging. So I think that honestly, when Azure Striker Gunvolt came out, I was like, this is a great successor to the Blue Bomber. And then they came up with Mighty Number 9, and I was like, you guys just tarnished all of my goodwill. Not because the same team made that game. That was Concept. Don't confuse the two. But But Azure Striker Gunvolt was also headed by Kenji Inafune. So, which is surprising because you look at Azure Striker Gunvolt and then you look at Mighty Number 9 and you're like, these two
Which means there's some other brains behind the actual game.
Yeah, clearly. Oh, yes. So I will say the game looks amazing. If you haven't played it, you should play it. It is really good. But my biggest concern coming out of the makers of Azure Striker Gunvolt is they're supposed to be releasing a game, a online RPG for the Switch called Dragon Marked for Death. And I'm trying to
didn't hear about that.
Huh?
I haven't heard about that. Hold on, I gotta look that up.
See what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I really want to know where that game is at. Not that I'm mad that we're getting more Gunvolt games, because Gunvolt is amazing and actually is a worthy successor to Mega Man. But where's my RPG at? Yeah. So I mean that's only my concern. I am solely sitting here with like a Mega Buster in one hand, like where is Dragon Mark for Death at? All right, so we'll close this out. We'll close this out with some E3 speculations. So E3 is around the corner. Actually, by the time this drops, E3 will probably be a couple weeks away. And I want to have a quick discussion over the win conditions. And not even like what do they need to like win against everybody else? What do they need to get a win for themselves? So let's start with Microsoft. What do they need to get a win?
If it's only for themselves, it should be pretty clear to everyone at this point. They really need to actually show some games. I don't think they can do too much more with the services to kind of, win people over anymore. Because I think they did pretty much all they could do. Game Pass is a really big thing, and that's a good thing actually too. They have the backwards compatibility, which I think is the only reason to buy the console anyway. So all they need are the games, and they could be an uphill battle.
Okay. All right, yeah. I'm just curious because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, all right, I know we're gonna get we're getting a Forza game, we're getting a Gears game. If we get a Halo game, I'm checking that off the playlist. But I'm hoping that we'll actually see some not multi-platform games from Xbox, because I think that this E3 they need to run damage control before the next generation hits.
They need their own games.
Yes, agreed.
And I think Crackdown is probably going to be trash too.
Sorry. Please, Microsoft. Please, Microsoft. Okay. So Microsoft, give us the games. The good games. Not the bad ones. The good ones. You can leave the bad ones at home. Bring the good games. What does Nintendo need to do to get a win? Outside of what they're already doing. We'll mention that later. A little later. Is there anything else that they could do now to impress people? Let's say that.
More people. Well, not more people. More. Want to say kind of functions for the Switch.
Okay. Anything you want to see in particular?
I want to see like custom themes and backgrounds, please.
Please.
I'm tired of looking at that gray screen.
Please. Or white if that's what you're into. Please.
They really need to enhance that store a bit. I mean, it looks okay, but it's a little bit on the bland side and lacking some basic features like being able to purchase multiple games at one time.
Yes. Oh my lord.
They need to get on that whole the refund thing because they're looking like Sony right now.
Yeah.
with refunds, which is not good.
Yeah, no, it's not at all.
But as far as games, I actually like to see them utilize more of their IPs that they have. I kind of wish they had Rare right now because I'm pretty sure they make really good use of them.
Oh man, well, old Rare, not the shell of Rare that exists now. Okay,
everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I know that they're gonna have the Switch Invitational, the Splatoon, I believe the Splatoon Invitational. They're doing the ARMS Invitational, so they're like kind of diving more into the esports side of things, which is weird but amazing.
I don't think that's gonna really pick up anywhere aside from like
Smash?
Japan, maybe.
Oh well, I mean, Smash is everywhere. So
I mean, as far as Splatoon,
yeah. Well, yeah. Splatoon is just a weird game. It's just honestly, the game itself is kind of crippled by the fact that you don't. Its online offerings and how you get matches online is kind of weird. Kind of like if you have Splatoon and I have Splatoon, and we both join a lobby and you join the game on my team, you can also end up on the opposite team sometimes. Like it's not like I think the first Splatoon you could actually have like a 3-player lobby and go in and play with like all 3 of your people or all 3 of your friends on your team and only on your team. This Splatoon, outside of like Salmon Run, like Splatoon itself is, once again, it's a really good game. I just think how they did the online mode is kind of hindering it.
Their online period needs to kind of have some, adjustments made, because the way I don't mind them charging for online.
Yeah.
I really don't, especially if it's like $20 a year.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna have like their voice chat relegated to
Discord,
mobile, that's what I'm saying. Just use Discord. There's no reason to use that app.
Yep, except for like when they start bringing out like specific Nintendo Online features, then it makes sense. Like Splatnet 2 is actually pretty functional. Like I've used Splatnet 2 on my iPad. It was amazing, hands down. You could go in there, you could shop. It would tell you. You can look at a secondary map. I think on the app itself, it'll tell you like all your stat scores. Even like the chat functionality on the app itself isn't bad. It's just cumbersome.
I mean, the only reason you'd be using chat anyway is to talk to your own teammates.
True, but the thing I do like about it is that, like, let's say like you do make a lobby, it will split you off into your own team, which is the only cool feature about it I like. So like if you're on like PSN and you play with like 80 of your friends in like one room and like they're on separate teams and we're on separate teams, then like it doesn't automatically split the room. You kind of just gotta like make another chat room or mute people, which is cumbersome. Right. And the Nintendo app actually does that automatically, which is great. You just don't get game audio, which is well, I understand streaming game audio would be stupid, so I'm not even going to suggest that, but I just feel like their answer of what they have is a half step. But yeah, I just feel like the offerings that they have for Splatoon are like a half step. I have not played ARMS online, so I can't speak on that. And hopefully when they have Smash online, like the Smash functionality for Wii U, honestly, outside of the lag or the little bit of the lag that there is fine. Bayonetta 2, like I said, I played that online. That's fine. It's just the way that they group people up on Splatoon online. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a hard sell to take off. But like over here in America, they actually have like ARMS tournaments. Like they have like full blown ARMS communities. I was actually watching Evo Japan, and there was a representative from United States, I want to say Gormagala. He apparently is the best Helix. I think he's currently the best Helix in the world. He's the...
must play a lot of Monster
Hunter. Probably, actually.
But if you got a get name like Gormagala, then yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you probably play Monster Hunter for sure. But he definitely he went over there and got second, if I'm correct. And I was actually like, wow, like, and like you can go like watch tournaments for ARMS, and I'm like, okay, ARMS is kind of taking off, not like a Street Fighter taking off, but it's like a slow, steady taking
like
off.
its own thing.
Yeah, like even like that Pokken is also slowly taking off. Like it has its own tournaments and everything, and I'm like, wow, these, and the Pokken tournaments actually look pretty good, but that's my own personal opinion. But yeah, okay, so the last one to speak about, what is Sony's win condition for E3?
Just do what they always been doing. I mean, they already have it in the bag now.
Okay.
I mean, they have some interesting games on the horizon, and they can only get more interesting.
Okay.
As much as no one really cares for VR, I really want to see them do something interesting with it, or anybody really, because I like the idea of VR.
Yeah.
I like the potential that some of these games have, but they don't really kind of
they don't
go all the way with it.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But I like to see them do something interesting with VR. But
Okay.
they're probably not. But the games, I want to. I really want to see what Ghost of Tsushima is going to look like.
Okay.
That has me pretty interested. And FromSoft's next game could be a new IP. It could be Tenchu.
Please, Tenchu. Come on.
Everybody saying it's Bloodborne 2. It's not going to be Bloodborne 2. Guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure.
They already said they're going to step away from those Souls games for a bit.
Which is great. Honestly, I think that is a good idea. Because when
I'm pretty sure they don't want to be like only known for Souls like games.
Yeah, I mean, they probably don't want to release a game every year, not like Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty back in the day. Okay, no, I agree. I think that I'm actually interested to see what Sony's going to do this year. I'm still want to see Days Gone, cause
did you see the hour-long gameplay?
No
footage?
No,
I have to link that to you.
Oh yes,
but
yes you do.
In my opinion, as of now, it kind of looks bland. Like it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look too good either. It's like the definition of average.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it's I was looking at that game and I was like, this is interesting, but they showed it the same year as Horizon Zero Dawn, and because Horizon Zero Dawn, for all intents and purposes, I told everybody else, like, Horizon Zero Dawn feels like mechanical Monster Hunter to me. And this is before I knew about Breath of the Wild or anything, so I could compare those two. But they show Horizon Zero Dawn the same year they show Days Gone, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Days Gone, I'm going with Horizon, but. I'll keep you.
I don't think it was necessarily that, because it's just like they showed like a preview of Days Gone, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we just got this game in the works. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but they had the game in the works for like 2 years now,
and then never showed it again.
Yeah. yeah, and like now they're gonna like and like even if they release it this year or they even release it next year, like all the like there's only so much hype the game can have before like people like it goes over it and pop and everybody's like, well, we don't care anymore. And I feel like Days Gone is kind of near, if it's not in that territory, it is dangerously close to that territory.
Granted, I think Days Gone, that development team is their first big game, so
gotcha. Yeah. Okay, all right.
But I do like that Sony actually gives all their studios a chance to prove themselves.
which is better than some other third party publisher. But that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say that so for this E3, that's pretty good. Sony just needs to just keep doing the thing.
They had last year down packed. They're gonna have this year down packed.
Yeah.
What released this year from them?
God of War.
Yeah, God of War. That
that right there was the mic drop. That was what game they released here. God of War. Oh, say no more.
that was the year. That was the year.
Yeah. That's
but they got Spider-Man releasing later on.
Oh my God, yes. And they're probably going to show gameplay of it. And I hear people keep comparing it to Arkham to the Arkham series, and I get the comparisons. But honestly, this is
the formula works. It works.
Yeah. I mean, once again, Remember Me used it, and Remember Me, it was actually a pretty decent game.
It was okay, but they could have the way they implemented the system, it was a bit repetitive.
Are you talking about the memory system or
the combat?
Oh yeah, well yeah. The free flow combat that they implemented, it was repetitive. The thing I will like is that you could customize your own combos, which is great.
Yeah, you only really use like 2 or 3 combos anyway.
Yeah, yes, but like I think
it was an interesting idea, but
it was an interesting game. It was short, but it was a very short, interesting game. I think it was from Capcom. Did Capcom publish that? But that was actually a really good game. Like, it wasn't... Of course, I told everybody else, like, if you played Batman first, if you played Remember Me before you played Batman, you have a greater appreciation for Remember Me, because Batman's battle system did so much better. But that's how I feel even about, like, Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man, like, people are going to compare it to, and of course they are, because, they kind of tackle fights the same way. But I feel like the open world and the set pieces that they have is way different from Batman. And I think that's what's going to end up setting this game apart.
Right.
So.
But I think it really works for Spider-Man, though.
No, agreed.
The way his powers work, yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. Okay, so yeah.
Powers, abilities.
So we have our E3 down. Is there anything else you would like to see from E3 that we haven't talked about outside of the big 3? That would be Ubisoft or EA, or
Legacy of Kain. It's not gonna happen, but I want it.
True, it's not gonna happen. I'm so hurt.
To be serious, from anybody else, I want to say Ubisoft, but I forgot what game I was gonna say. Maybe a traditional Rainbow Six game, but that's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, they're probably gonna introduce a Rainbow Six game. I
know they're gonna introduce another Splinter Cell.
Yes,
another Splinter Cell game.
Thank you. Yes, Splinter Cell. Thank you. I keep thinking because Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell. Yeah.
Capcom, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Please.
Probably not gonna happen. They're probably gonna do Devil May Cry 5, maybe.
They probably are. But like, if they can just release Dragon's Dogma Online over here, like,
please.
If you just release that over here, like,
please, that'll hold me over until the next game.
I mean, that'll hold me over for a long time. Like, I would drop a lot of my games for Dragon's Dogma because Dragon's Dogma is so good. Oh, okay. All right. Well, yes, this podcast is going on for quite a while, but yes, we have our E3 predictions, things that we want to see out of E3, and at the end of the day, I am actually looking forward to E3. Hopefully, we'll get in one more podcast before then to talk about things leading up to. But
how long do we have?
Huh?
How long do we have
on this podcast?
No, for E3.
I want to say about 3 weeks. Is usually in the middle of June.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So we will. So thank you. Yeah. We probably got one more podcast, probably the week of. But yeah. So, thank you all for stopping by and listening. Welcome to the Up on the D-Pad. If you liked our podcast, go on and hit that subscribe button right down below. Hit the bell icon if you want to stay up on what we will be talking about and or let's plays or anything else we'll be covering, and leave a like on the video. We gladly appreciate it. And till next time, D-Pad out.